Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife video for you. Today we have my top 5 most carried knives of January of 2020. You guys seem to really like these updates. It is kind of cool. It does show you the stuff that I actually carry for myself, and that's what these videos are. This is stuff I carry for myself. It does not include things that I've carried just for review. If I have it out just for review, I don't usually include it in this. There are more than usual in this one, and that is because it is January. It is cold out. I wear a pretty heavy coat, and I have a couple knives that just reside in that coat. I interchange them. I don't carry 2 in my coat at once. Then I'd have like 4 or 5 on me. That would be insane. No, I carry 1 in my coat all the time. I have a chest pocket on my coat that I really like to put a knife in, and I just kind of leave it in there, and I have a couple that I interchange. So we're going to show those. And then I'm a usual, like, 1 honorable mention for kind of a gentlemanly sort of knife, because oftentimes I come home and then I change clothes, change knives, and go out and do a show. So I have to carry something a bit more discreet than what I might usually carry during the day. So here we go. We're going to start out with that one, the one that I carry when I've been going out to shows and stuff the most. There's a little caveat to this one. This one is the Spyderco Shaman. That has probably been my most popular. I know it has been because I keep track. It's been the most popular one this month for that kind of roll. It's just a great little knife. I had the lightweight before. I didn't really care for the FRN. Had a good chance to make a good trade with my buddy Mike to get this one. This is the OG, you know, with the carbon fiber peel ply, which some people hate. I like it. I like the deep carry pocket clip. It's XHP and just the slicing machine, just a laser blade for those kind of little things you're going to do with this kind of knife. You know, cutting a string, opening a box for somebody, maybe cutting a zip tie or something like that. It is just amazing for that kind of stuff. Love this knife. Ergos are awesome. It's just been great. I will say there was another knife in this same sort of category that actually got more carry, and I've only had it for 2 weeks, so that says something, but a lot of that was technically for review. It was before I published the review. I only count them like after I published the review, and that would be the Ferrum Forge Mini Archbishop. And yes, there's probably going to be a battle to the death between these two. I think that would be appropriate. I love the Mini Archbishop. It's just great. Again, the ergos are a lot of the same things I like. The ergos are amazing. It's a really good slicer. It looks pretty. Yeah, discreet carry, all the same sort of stuff. So you're probably going to see a battle to the death between these two. And now let's get on to that aforementioned coat pocket carry. I usually like to have something a bit heavier in there, like nothing too crazy. I mean, I actually did try the other day to carry my 4MAX around in that, because I freaking love this thing, and I just got it just yesterday. I tried to put my 4MAX in that pocket, and I had to jog, and like I almost got a bruise on my chest. This is 10.2 ounces. It's a bit too heavy to be in that pocket, but yeah, I'm still gonna figure out a way to carry this. It's not that bad to carry actually in the pocket. We'll see if it makes the list next time. But yeah, this is so cool. I just kind of wanted to brag that I had a 4MAX Scout, because not a lot of people have them yet. Maybe I'm just bragging. All right, that's fine. Okay, but here's what it actually has been in that left front pocket on my jacket. It's been 2, and they were dead even. This is the Spyderco Shaman and the Benchmade Super Freak. These are very interchangeable to the point that I have a little like credenza, you know, by my front door, and one of these 2 is usually laying on that, and the other one is in my jacket pocket. So technically, these are my most carried knives of the month, probably. They're technically my most carried, like by numbers of days, but I hardly ever use them. They just sit in that pocket. I usually still use the one that's in my right front pocket, but I have them. I can carry them. It's winter. I have the pockets. I can do it, so I do. So these are kind of like big secondaries. I don't know. Maybe just my secondaries get bigger in winter. I don't know how you want to categorize them, but Shaman is great. It is overpriced now, but I got this really good on a trade again with my buddy Mike, and he put this beautiful edge on it. And I just like having it in my pocket, and it's still fun to fiddle with and all that stuff. It's still a great knife, but at $204, wow. And now this is the Benchmade Super Freak M4 steel. I just love the way it looks. It is a first production one on this one. Some of you, I had like one guy email me saying, why are you carrying and using a first production? Well, I don't care. I did put a deep carry clip on it from Benchmade. It's just a great knife. And I love the ergos. I just love so much about the Super Freak. So it's usually one of these two that's in that right front pocket. I think maybe, well, the one day I carried the 4 Max, and I think maybe a couple of other days I had a full-size grip in there. So, but it's usually one of these two. So now let's get to the ones that really matter. These are the ones that actually sit in that right front pocket, the place of honor, I guess, on my EDC. The ones that I actually intend on using that day. I had a tie for the 5th one. So I always pick my top 5. It was a tie between these two. I had in the not so budget realm, we'll start out with that. In the not so budget realm, Benchmade 940-1. I love 940s. They're just really nice. And this is the S90V with the carbon, the 940-1. They're like, they're like 280 something like that. 267, I think they are, if I'm remembering correctly. I did put a Benchmade bug out deep carry clip on it, which I think is the best clip for the 940. It just, they're thin, they're light, especially these carbon ones. They don't need to have a big full length clip on them. They're totally fine with this. And it's very, you know, discreet and looks cool. So this is one that I carry a lot, like on days where I don't have like shows or anything, but I know I'm going to be around people a lot and I don't want something that sticks out a whole lot. The 940 is one that I'll usually grab, and it's so lightweight. It's just, you can wear it with slacks or anything and it's going to be completely fine. Tied with that is one that I use in kind of the exact opposite manner. This has been one of my favorite real users since I got it, and I've not had it that long, but I did give it a rave review, and I do still feel very, very bad that I did not have this before I did my, you know, my top 10 budget knives of 2019 video. And that is the Best Tech Texel Adam Purvis design. This is just such a good budget knife. I love the blade shape. I love my cat climbing around behind me if you hear something. Just really comfortable handle. Great blade. Awesome action. I just love this thing. It is such a good knife. I definitely often grab it over more expensive knives. So, you know, that's saying something. I do really like. I did put EDCI on it just last night, so that's why the blade looks a bit weird. I don't think I wiped it off quite as well as I was supposed to. But really, really good knife. And honestly, if it's a D2 blade and I put EDCI on it, that means I'm going to keep it around for a while. And I definitely have decided I'm absolutely keeping this around for a while. NFS, as they say. Next up would be one that is just kind of creeped back in. I've had it for a while, but I think maybe it's now because I have a more expensive Hinderer. Now I don't look at this Hinderer as being that expensive. It's 325 bucks. It is not a cheap knife, but I've just been using this thing now, and I think, oh, I just oiled it last night. So, yeah, last night I got bored. I did a whole bunch of knife maintenance, and I think I really overlubed this thing, but oh well. Yeah, it just, this is the Eclipse 3-inch, 325 bucks. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I do have to dye these scales though. I was waiting to, I don't like the green that much. I've been waiting for them to come out with aftermarket scales for it because they usually do with everything, but I just haven't seen any come out for the Eclipse 3-inch, and I think I'm just going to give up and dye these black, but that's fine. That's not a big deal. And I've never done it before, and I really want to try it. It looks pretty easy, so it'll be a video, I guess. But yeah, just even though it's 325 bucks, I've just been carrying it and using it, and just using it like I would any of my other knives, and it's just been great. I like the ergos. It's a big beefy Hinderer, and I don't know, it's a bit of a internal status symbol, I guess. Like, nobody else knows that that's a Hinderer, like, that you run into. Like, nobody knows that, but I know I've got a nice Hinderer in my pocket, and it's just kind of nice. Man, I really overlubed this thing. Honest television there. Yep. What is it? Nick calls it the Exxon Shabazz. I think that's what I did with this one. But it's broken in so well. The detent was a little stiff on it when I first got it, but it's broken in so well. I just really, really love it. It's just a great little knife and a perfect size. And in my city, there are some areas that you go to that you're supposed to have less than 3 inches. And that is a law that I never violate, officer. And so it's just a nice big heavy duty knife in that 3-inch category. Next up would be the TRM Adam. I love this knife, obviously. It's my 2019 knife of the year. These are the Techwood scales. And honestly, part of the reason why you haven't seen this on the channel much is because I've been mostly using these scales. And I didn't know that TRM had already put them out for sale once. I thought that I got them early. I didn't. So I was kind of like just not showing them because I didn't want TRM to get bombarded. I think I showed them like once or twice. I didn't want to get TRM bombarded with requests for them. These are Techwood. Basically, I guess if I'm understanding correctly, the company that makes diamond wood isn't in business anymore, isn't making it or whatever. So this is a new company. And these things are just beautiful. Got all the layers in there, so many colors. It's a kind of a Native American vibe to it. God, I just love them. And these are the, you know, more contoured, fluted scales, and they're so comfortable. It's so pretty. But I have put on the other scales, and I call this my Barbie doll knife because, you know, you can change the scales in just seconds. So these are the other ones I've got. These are the carbon fiber Kevlar. These are the carbon fiber ones I originally got it with at Blade Show. So if I'm bored with those, I swap them out. But, excuse me, it's mostly been with these Techwood scales on it. I just think it's a gorgeous, gorgeous thing. It's actually what I carried on Christmas Day and on New Year's Day, I think, too. So maybe it's my holiday knife. I don't know. But I really love the look of them. And they're such a great knife. You know, nice slicey 20 CV blade. It has given me no problems whatsoever. It's still perfectly centered, all that stuff. It's just been an amazing knife. And I do not regret at all purchasing one of these. Fantastic knife. All right. Next up, I think we are down to our top two, right? Okay, we're almost done here, I swear. Number two was last month's number one. It has been dethroned, but I still carried a whole lot. Spidey Chef. It's just awesome. What else do we need to say about Spidey Chef? It didn't get hit too hard by the price increases. I'm not sure exactly what it's up to. I think $234 now. I think it's pushing the edge, but I think that's still for this. If you've had one for a while, I think $234 is still fair enough. I'm not going to say it's a bargain, but it's fair enough. This is the CQI version, LC200, and you know, it's completely rust resistant, all that stuff. I use it around the kitchen, and I just rinse it off in the sink, and I don't even remember the last time I took it apart. I haven't had it that long. I think I've had it for maybe 3 or 4 months, but I don't really sweat about it that much. It always runs great. It's always been good. Really, really, really like the Spidey Chef. Ergos are great. It carries very well. It's just a fine piece of cutlery. But it was dethroned this month by, not by much, but by a little bit, by the Hogue Deca. I just really, really like this knife. You can tell that it was the most carry because it's got the most schmutz all over the blade. But I did put a deep carry clip that's meant for a ZT-0450 on it from MXG Gear. Works great. I didn't hate that clip as much as other people do, but I did swap it out. I did also swap out the screws. I think that's the most important thing because if you don't, you have these screws that are quite prominent and, you know, quite squared off. Where these are Benchmade screws, I think, that I had left over that thread in nicely. So it goes in the pocket really well. Very lightweight. This is the Wharncliffe version. I've had both. You guys know, Gear Towards Gear loaned me a couple of the drop point versions, and I really thought that I would wind up liking the drop point more when I opened this box and I saw the multi-grind, because when I first bought this, they didn't have pictures of it out yet, so I didn't even know what it looked like till I opened the box. So the multi-grind, I was like, ugh. But you know what? Using them both side by side, I think for my kind of stuff that I do kind of like the Wharncliffe just a skosh better. But I do want to do a comparison between the Bug Out CF Elite, which I happen to have right here, and this, redo that comparison that I did. And for that, I will probably, when they are available, I will get the black handle with the, you know, with the same satin blade or stonewash blade, whatever it is, with the drop point, just to make them a bit more comparable. But I probably won't keep it long because I think I just like this better. So I'll probably get one for that video, and then I'll probably resell it. I don't know, maybe we'll see. But really loving the Hogue Deca. Just a great knife, and one of my absolute favorites that I've had in quite some time. So hope you guys have enjoyed this. This is just a little insight into what I actually carry, and it's kind of a mini long-term update. So hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.